Here we go. Going live.
Going live.
Going live, we're live.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Monday Club. It is the All Steam Special. So as you can see, we've got what?
I believe you jumped in before we had our theme tune.
Absolutely, so we've got...
If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there.
Hey, stop showboating it.
Because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Yay!
So as you can see from on your screen today is the All Steam Special. And I have actually put out every single steam locomotive that I own onto Weir Yard. Now you might have seen the little sneak peek of that. I put a video up on the Book of Face on the Jenny Monday Club Facebook page.
Did you?
I did actually, yes.
Wow.
And essentially, if we go round Weir Yard, you can see that it's all steam locomotives, every single one. So that's the turntable area, and you can see there's more steam locomotives sat in some of the other routes than normal. Yeah, a few people saying like Barry Scrapyard, but I did think that actually after I put everything up. There's a few more visible there. There's actually a few which I can't get on the cameras because just the way the cameras are set up. Mel says, I got a Jennifer E. Kirk wagon for my birthday present from DT Head. Oh, brilliant. I'm so pleased.
Happy birthday to you. Squash tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you.
Michael
Yay.
White says, how many locos? I don't know, I haven't counted. Dominic Zed, our Kickline correspondent, big hello to you. We've got West Highland Terrier Class 37s, Patrick Ling. Ralph Davey says, evening all from South Africa. Enjoy the show.
Evening.
Cameron Patterson from Glasgow. Oh, so we might see you perhaps at Model Rail Scotland, which is coming up this weekend. And the big news is that...
That's Scotland are closing the border the moment that you get there, so you can't come home.
No. So I will be at Model Rail Scotland, and I will be there with the Hornby and Model World big upside down layout. Now, other news, I know a few people have murmured about the channel membership. We finally set that up, and then YouTube, after it went, yeah, release a video, tell everybody about it, and then wait for us to approve it. And it's like, what? So basically, all those who are wondering about the channel membership, we've done everything our end. We're just waiting for YouTube to switch it on.
Yep.
I don't know how long that's going to take. It may even happen during the stream. It's just simply a case of keep an eye on it. And once that goes live, as we said in the little promo video, there's going to be some emoticons and badges, that kind of thing, isn't it? Plus, also, channel membership will get early access to the Friday videos. So that's one to look out for. Sparky107, big hello to you. Apparently, can we actually put them out?
We can show the custom emoticons.
So we can show the custom emoticons now. They don't... What are they? They look a bit sort of modern.
Yes. They're not animating at the moment, but they will.
So Fat Waller Boy 2 says, I predict a Curascale big new Glasgow Blue Trains Class 303 EMU in 00 for 299 for 3 cars, all the bells and whistles. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. Damn you, YouTube! O-Gauge Trains plus slot cars says, cheers from overseas United States. Great to see you. So I don't know what time is it in the US at the moment. Although you've got 3 different time zones, so what time is it? I know in St. Louis it's basically our time minus 6 hours, so it's probably about 1 in the afternoon in the middle of America. Alex Dent says, I'm not at the local Modern Image tonight. The Amazing Train Guy, big hello to you. Tim's model railway in different videos says, where have the wagons got to? The wagons are all in the in storage in all the drawers underneath.
They're in the safety deposit box, whose location will not be revealed to the public until they have completed our quest.
Absolutely. And Mark says it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sparky 107 107 as well, 2:05 Eastern Time. Out and about with Scottish Drone. Big hello to you, the Amazing Train Guy, Warbler Productions, the two TARDISes. I always think it should be TARDISes. On the following locations: behind the chat in current view and in front of the loco shed in a cross shed view.
Waterroad says, as far as I'm aware, you can't use animated emotes. You mean I spent literally 5 minutes animating a Gronk It Up emote, and now it won't work?
But will people actually see the Gronk It Up, or do you have to redesign it?
I'm going to redesign it now, because...
So why did it let you animate it?
Because YouTube's annoying.
It is, rather. 156 Andrew, big hello to you. Francis Wadsworth, Paul Murphy, Mel's, B2000, RO Toys channel. Says, hi Jenny and Zoe, Gordon is very much complete now. I need Edward and Henry in large scale, as well as some express carriages, of which I'm 3D printing. Oh, really looking forward to seeing your progress on those. And it was great to meet you and chat with you at the Doncaster show. But yeah, as I was saying, we've got the Glasgow show coming up. I'm going to be there all weekend with the upside down layout from Hornby and Model World. We are kind of loosely planning a 2 o'clock on each of the days of the show, have a little bit of a meet-up. Basically, if we say 2 o'clock at the upside down layout each day, then it's just a case of being everybody together, and everybody can kind of meet other Monday clubbers as well.
Will you be doing a live Monday club on tour?
It's difficult.
You just stick your phone on a tripod.
I've not got the cupboard monkey with me, so I'm the techno weenie.
Stick your phone on a tripod, plug in your lapel mic, and have it.
So also here's a big hello to Kelly Ashford, who I don't think she's in at the moment, but if she watches this on catch up, these are for you. Look at this, all steam. Like literally hundreds of steam locomotives.
Hundreds of kettles all going at once.
Yes, steamy.
Steamy window.
Iron Horse Railways, hi to you. The Growler Blackwood Engage layout says, Jenny, not long till the YouTubers meet at 2 p.m. on Friday. Absolutely. I'll have to remember not to wander off and just sort of be going around the show and everybody be...
So Jenny will be wandering around. You'll have to find her and drag her back to the thing.
Also, the other thing that is worth looking out for at the show, we've got Paul Tyre of PD Models, who you might remember from Biggest Little Railway. He was also on Series 1 of the Great Model Railway Challenge, and he is going to be my wingman on the Upside Down layout. Oh wow, thank you ever so much for your generosity. Out and about with Scottish Drone has very, very generously donated £10 on the super chat and says money for spending in Glasgow. Oh my word, we'll be...
Don't give her ideas.
The Iron Brew will be flowing in the pub.
Don't give her ideas.
Somebody said to me that actually in Scotland, in some pubs, they actually have Iron Brew on tap. You can just like you would with any of the beers.
Wow.
And it's like hardcore.
Isn't
but
it just
thank
like
you
a
so
glass
much.
of sugar?
Yes. Wangok says, hi Jenny, you've got a brew on. Absolutely, a lot of kettles. Sue at Pudham Junction, big hello to you. Flymo Chairman 1. Scrapline, Aylesmead Project, Mike at Pudham Junction. Andy Brooks, David Scott. We've got a load of loads and loads of people in. It's really great to see. Michael Pollitt says, hi Jenny, building OO gauge stone walls with real slate. Lots of fiddly work, but well worth it. Oh my word! So I'm guessing that you get yourself up to somewhere where there's just like slate spoil from slate mine, somewhere like that. Get it, wash it, grade it, and then just very carefully glue them together. Ham Shackleton, rather controversial for all of the Scots in there, says Iron Brew is only rusty water.
Made in Scotland from girders.
Arr.
Ironly Great.
Mark has very, very generously donated $5 on the super chat. Says more wagons for Jenny. I thank you ever so much. That is incredibly generously. Thank you
so much.
Oh my word!
Goodness.
Sparky 107 has incredibly generously donated 20 Canadian dollars on the super chat. Thank you so much. Says Jenny. What are you and Zoe doing in May? I have a YouTube meet and greet again at Strasbourg, Pennsylvania. Come on over. We are going to try and get over to the US.
Thank you so much.
We're hopefully going to try and arrange something for the St. Louis RPM meet.
Our only issue with going to America is that they might not let us in because, well, you've met us.
Well, they met you. They'll let me in. But yeah, so we're going to try and get to the St. Louis RPM meet, and we'll be doing that with Ken Patterson and hopefully perhaps even Robert Steers from San Juan Model Company. It'd be really, really great to meet the US contingent and anybody else who is able to get to that. The big issue is cost of travel. More than anything else. That's
your big issue. My big issue is I'm not sure they'll let me have a passport after I declared my house a separate country.
Yes. Gone Loco says they just have Iron Brew in the Polish Skusha. What's a Skusha? Is that the... I think it's that thing on the bar, is it? Oh my word. Nuts and Bolts 77. Amazing generosity. Thank you so much. Is incredibly generously donated $20
Guys, you're so
on the
generous.
super chat and says the travel change. Oh my word, guys! You guys.
You're far too generous.
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you.
Johan Swanepoel, good evening to you. The Amazing Train Guy, Malcolm Moore says, hi, do you know if I can get a 9-pin decoder without having to get it from the USA with stupid postage costs? Right, as far as I'm aware, there isn't a 9-pin decoder. What you do get is you get an 8-pin decoder that will have an extra wire that you then solder to a solder pad on the circuit board, and that effectively gives you the equivalent of a 9-pin decoder. So if you get the Trainomatic decoders, the 8-pin ones have an extra, I think it's a pink wire. That is your 9th wire for the extra function. DCC Concepts Zen decoders also have that wire. In fact, I think the Zen Black decoders have a couple of extra wires to give you extra functions. I've also seen it on who else's decoder. I think most 8-pin decoders now come with that 9th wire, and all you have to do is to solder that to, there'll be somewhere in the locomotive, if the locomotive is set up needing that 9th wire, there will be just like a solder pad that you carefully solder that wire to, and that's all you need. But there isn't, as far as I'm aware, a 9-pin plug. Peter Jackson says, liking the milk tankers train. I think there's only it's only the very first tanker is a milk tanker. All the rest is an assortment of private owner Bachmann tanker wagons. In fact, I think about 6 of those are special commissions. So big up to the Erith Model Rail Club, because there's their Pyramid brand tanker on there. There's also the Frizinghall Models Shell Max. We've also got Worley Model Rail Club's Brotherton Ammonia tanker, and I think the Mastico is also one of those. Bachmann Collectors Club Pool Petrol is in there, and again Bachmann Collectors Club, I think it was the 2000, either 2002 or 2003 Collectors Club wagon, is the Charles Roberts tanker that's in there. So it's quite an eclectic collection. And also Worley Model Rail Club, the Midland Tar Distillers as well. And we've also got, I just noticed it, the Scottish and Newcastle Brewery tanker. That is a Harbin Hobbies special commission as well. Einhorse Rower says Buckfast is brewed in England. Oh yes, the Commotion Lotion. Or the Rock This Hoose Juice. Buckfast is a weird one. It's not really meant to be sold as an alcoholic beverage, But it was very quickly noted by the teenagers at the bus stop that buying a bottle of Buckfast gave you far more alcohol for your money than anything else, which is why it just became rock this hoose juice. The scrap line says scrap weathered a Wally limited tank. Oh, controversial. James Hardy asks, is that a bullied rebuilt Battle of Britain there? Very expensive on eBay. It is, yes. That was one of the locomotives, actually, one of the newest additions to the fleet, which I purchased from Rails of Sheffield, second-hand, at the Doncaster show. One of the things as well, we've got a video coming up probably next week, which is model railway bargains, looking at some of the second-hand stuff that's out there. And that's going to be featuring some of the stuff that I got from Rails of Sheffield, amongst other things. Now, I did see a comment about Buckfast, somebody saying it's darn expensive. Flint Hills Model Railway, Jeff Hammond, great to see you, says good evening, Jenny and Zoe, and all in chat. Anfield Road layout in the loft, hi to you. J94 says I ran my new J94 LMS Jubilee and 71,000 Duke of Gloucester at my Model Railway Club yesterday. They ran okay on the layout. Somebody said something about Buckfast being really expensive. I think that's because of the minimum alcohol pricing.
Yeah, that's Seward Pudding Junction said that.
James B says, hey Jenny, my lady Gemma and me get lost in how good your layout looks. Have you ever owned a post-train set? Say hello to Zoe 2. Hello, Zoe 2.
Hello.
Where's Zoe 1? What have you done with her?
I don't know. I'm going to find it.
I do have a single TPO coach, which was actually the Model Zone exclusive version of the Bachmann one from way, way back. That's really the only TPO that I've got. I do have a couple of Mark 1 BGs in Royal Mail letters livery, but apart from that, and I've got a Class 128 in Royal Mail letters livery as well. That's about all that there is. Iron Horse Railway says Death Bear. No, that's my childhood teddy. Actually, he's actually ever so slightly older than me. He lives up here now. He's a bit fragile. He's had open head surgery numerous times. Paul Murphy says the Magic Monday Club. Hey, it's magic. But Paul O'Donovan says, greetings from Ireland. No diesels running. You must be listening to Saxon Age of Steam from the new album Saxon Carpe Diem. A big hello to John JMC. Lifestyle Unleashed as well says, what a great view of all those lovely steam engines. I'm loving this breath of fresh steam air. I know, and Kelly is missing this, but I'm sure she'll watch on the catch-up and see that we have gone all steam all night. Darren Mould asks, Wally this year? I will try and get there, actually. I've not been invited to take a layout or do any promotional stuff or anything, but there's still loads and loads of time. Warbler Productions asks, what's the news this week? Well, we are setting up channel membership, but YouTube has derailed that. So if you saw the video and wondering why it's not letting you join the channel membership, that is simply because YouTube went, yeah, put a video out, tell everybody about this, and as soon as you do it, it goes, and then wait for us to approve it. And we're going to drag our heels. So at the moment, it's going through the YouTube approval process, but there is channel membership available. So basically it's just a case of keep an eye on that. And then we've got the Glasgow show. The Model Rail Scotland looks to be a great show, which will be running this coming Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And I will be there all weekend. I'm there with the Hornby Model World upside down layout, so fingers crossed that it runs okay, because essentially I'm taking a prop from a TV series and expecting it to work for a full weekend. So it's had a few tweaks. It's not just sort of like as it left filming. I have done a little bit of work to it, but what we're going to be doing is trying to get that running over the weekend. Ed's Egg asks, what is channel membership? It's a thing that YouTube do which gives you some customized icons and emoticons that only you can use, and it also allows early access to the Friday videos is what we're offering. David, it's my model railway, big hello to you. Valleys 56XX says, nah, I've gone off all them tea kettles. Can you run a Gronk or a tractor, please? Next week. All of these are coming back off the layout. This is a one-off. So it's really just a case of I did it because I could. And you know, I kept looking at them all on these shelves up here, and I thought, you know what? Some of these locos never go on the track. They never get run. They never go on the track. So for a complete change, I thought, let's just go all steam. John Walters, g'day to you. We've got a really great Aussie contingent. It's really great to have you guys. I don't know what time it is over there. Just curious. Anybody in Australia, let us know, what time is it over there? I think it's really, really early morning. Right. Dominic Z, Jenny says, Jenny, I'm also excited for the Hornby the Ghost and Molly McGee 040 train set. Absolutely excellent. Lifestyle Unleashed says, my father is steaming ahead with our exhibition Brewery Line update video on the NWINS 3D Models Facebook page. Absolutely. I saw some of the pictures that you shared on the Facebook Jenny Monday Club Facebook group. So also don't forget the Jenny Monday Club Facebook group is a really great place to share your own modelling and to see what other projects other people have been up to, sharing ideas as well. It's a broad church. We're quite happy to see all sorts of railway related bits and pieces. DT Head, hi to you. John Walters says, haha, I'm from Manchester and in Bolton. Peering through your letterbox. But no, it's great to have you all in. Don Gets Model Rose says all of them, every single last one. Oh, this is basically, yeah, every single steam locomotive is currently on the layout. So you can see there, we'll go to one of the other angles. So what would normally be full of wagons is entirely full of locomotives. And over here, I'm just seeing if I can get my hand into shot. Where my hand is appearing, just there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 steam locomotives that you cannot see there. Also, where you see those improved engine green Terriers, you can see 2 of them. There are actually 4 in that siding, so there's 2 more behind that. If we go to this angle, let's see, So behind me, there's 4 more locomotives that you can't see behind the little bit of me. Behind the logo in the top left, there's a whole load more there. There's just so many locomotives, and unfortunately, if I go to this angle, you just get to see these locomotives up here, but there's another 2 lines of them going this way, so there are a lot of locomotives on there. Right, Route 7 Railway, big hello to you. Fat Wallet Boy 2 says, hell of a collection, absolutely. And this has been built up over just over 20 years. And I'll be the first to admit that I was very lucky. I came out of university in 2000 and I had a really great job. I didn't have any overheads. I was still living with my parents. My only real overhead was my car. So I had a reasonable amount of disposable money. And at the same time, the cost of model railway stuff was unusually low. We just had all of the high quality, high spec production coming through from China. And you were looking at about £4.50 for a Bachmann branch line, like 16-ton coal hopper. You were looking at, for example, the Hornby Puggy Poos. I seem to recall you could pick those up for about £22, something like that, brand new. You were looking at about £37 for a Bachmann Class 25. And the days of even a locomotive going past the £100 mark were far, far ahead of us. So I was able to build up quite a collection of stuff before prices started to rise appreciably. Yeah, and just also I'm a bit of a magpie. But there's quite a collection. Actually, most of these locomotives never ever get run. They just sit on shelves or even in drawers, which is absolute sacrilege. So Southern video photographer says, "Evening, Jennifer Kirk and everyone. I've had a day off, so model railway day today. Just finishing off Victoria Station roof. Next job is to start London Waterloo Station." Oh my word. Ridgeway Park 00 says, "Hi Jenny, can you tell a bit more of the history of the Barry Scrapyard as I remember as a child?" Basically, for anybody who doesn't know, Barry Scrapyard is very, very famous in the UK. Now, for people outside of the UK, it may often seem like we saved a lot of steam locomotives from scrap. And this was more by accident than design. And the reason for this was principally, not exclusively, but principally a scrapyard in Barry Island, which is in South Wales. And Di Woodham, who was the guy who owned it, he actually had no real interest in saving steam locomotives. He was a scrap metal dealer, and he bid and bought a lot, like hundreds of steam locomotives from British Rail, but because of circumstances they didn't get round to cutting them up for a little while. And what actually happened was a lot of enthusiasts then were trying to save up to buy these locomotives, and he quickly realised it was actually it was just an easy way of dealing with them was to slowly sell them on, and they were being kept for a rainy day. And I think the last ones were actually cut up in the early 1980s. So it's kind of weird to think that a 9F was cut up for scrap metal in about 1981, 1982.
It's very hot. It's hot chocolate.
Ooh, hot chocolate. Talk to the nice people. As this is a Billy's replacement mug, incidentally. You'll see the merch store down below. You too can have your own Billy's replacement mug or the JK mug like you've got.
Yes, I have the Monday Club mug.
Oh, this is nice. Have you made this with the Baileys?
No. I decided not to put alcohol in anything that you have because A, we're on live, and B, you've got to go to work.
So the beverage of choice tonight is hot chocolate.
Cadbury's chocolate.
Jay Watts, a big hello to you. Southern Train Girl, great to see you in. John JMC says, yeah, we lost so many great locos, and there are a number that got away. And to talk about, we're having a Steam special. So to talk about a few of the locomotives that got away, that by rights really should have got preserved, but for whatever reason didn't. Beachy Head, the Brighton Atlantic, that was one. A Bluebell Railway were trying to save up to save it. Couldn't raise the money. It got scrapped in full working condition. One of the Southern Z-Class 080 shunting locomotives, the Marshalling Yard locos. Again, there was an attempt to save one of those. They couldn't raise the money in time. In terms of A4 Pacifics, I believe a number of those were offered around the globe to a number of different countries that they were named for. And the only countries that took up the offer was the US, got Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Canada took Dominion of Canada. And I suspect that they kind of cut a deal on transport, so the two locomotives may well have gone out together.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I believe as well that Dominion of New Zealand, Commonwealth of Australia were also offered up to the respective countries, and they were declined. They basically were going to get the locomotive for free. All they had to do was pay for the transport, and the countries declined. And actually, looking back with hindsight, wouldn't it have been nice if a preserved railway said, well, I tell you what, we'll look after it until you decide what you want to do with it, because you're getting the loco for free anyway. And we could have kind of looked after Dominion of New Zealand and Commonwealth of Australia at somewhere like the Great Central Railway, but not to be. Michael Weil says, wow, watching you and the Monday Club Steam Locomotive Special with Jenny Kirk at the same time is tricky. Francis Wadsworth says, that reminds me, I worked on the Bluebell Railway at East Grinstead. I was station staff on the platform and barrier entrance. And of course, all the preserved lines in the UK do rely ever so much on volunteers to help keep things running. So it's a great job that you do. J94 says, I believe that there was an attempt to save a peppercorn A1, but it got cut up before they tried to save it. Yeah, I think there was Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says there was plans to get A1 peppercorn, 6145 St Mungo preserved as well, I think. Absolutely. Manthony 1956, great to see you, says it is 88 degrees Fahrenheit in South Texas.
88 miles per hour.
Shut up, covered monkey. Jenny, most here are drinking cold beer and iced tea. Oh my word. And Paul Murphy, Jenny, I gave the Monday Club a like. Thank you so much. And don't forget, everybody else, do please tickle that like button. Share the stream on social media and also subscribe if you've not already done so. Leslie Gilpin Railway says the scrap dealers were under agreement with BR not to sell the locos. They had been sold to the scrappies at a low cost, not for reuse. Woodham must have had that rescinded. I think he just didn't care. I think that was because BR were a bit funny. They just seemed to be determined to destroy all these things. But I suspect that it was unenforceable in that it wouldn't have gone down well. What was effectively a government department trying to prosecute somebody for attempting to actually save historical equipment.
Yeah, it's a bit weird that they would even try to say that you can't preserve this stuff.
Well, and British Rail did a lot of stuff whereby they would actually destroy infrastructure that they were closing so that it couldn't be reopened as a backhanded way of avoiding it being exposed, that actually some of the actual cases for closing lines were a bit of a basket case. There was a lot of underhand stuff going on with Ridgeway Marples, Ernest Marples,
yes.
On the take and stuff. So there's
didn't he flee the country?
Mm-hmm. He was wanted for tax evasion in the end. You do wonder how these people get to be ministers in the government when they're up to those sort of things.
Because it's not about decency, it's about connections.
As Michael Wiles says, 306 watching, but only 101 likes. Come on! Absolutely. David Scott says, Cashmore's and Buttergeeks in Newport cut up all of theirs. Nothing escaped. Absolutely. There's a lot of... There's a lot of scrapyards just dispatched them pretty quickly. And yeah, Simon Trains Mother Railway Showcase, Di Wooden was busy cutting up wagons, let the steam locos... the steam locos were a bit more involved to cut up. It was easier, quicker and more profitable to deal with the wagons, which was one of the reasons that the locos put on the back burner as like something for a rainy day.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much to Robert Steers for incredibly generously donating $10. Says, greetings from cold and snowy Montana. Funds for the Locomotive Fund. Well, thank you so much. I need to really talk to you as well about hopefully sorting out something for the St. Louis RPM meet this year. Really going to try and do something that...
now that the borders are open again.
Yeah, now that they let us travel.
These things.
But it would be absolutely great to be able to get over for that. Wham Gox says, Jenny, BR are still distorting bridges and viaducts. There's a lot of stuff still getting destroyed. It's not BR, it's usually the Highways Authority these days. And there was quite a bit of a scandal with a bridge in Cumbria being infilled unnecessarily, which was going to basically make things very difficult for the Stainmore Railway to reinstate it.
That's very annoying. Ham Shackleton says, a couple of us have asked, how much current are all those idling decoders taking? Not a lot. So it's like 2.48 amps at the moment, isn't it? It's
there's probably about 200 locomotives on the layout. Obviously, all bar 7 are just sat there idle. And that's added probably just under an extra amp to the draw on the layout.
Yeah, so they do actually take
they do.
But it's not, it's surprisingly low, actually.
Yeah, so it's something you should know is that all decoders have a current draw. They're basically on standby. But it's not a huge amount. But, you know, we've got about 200 locomotives physically sat on the layout doing, all bar 7, not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's probably adding about 0.9 of an amp.
So are we going to get any sounds from any of these tonight, Jenny?
Sorry, what?
Are we getting any sounds from any of these
Possibly.
tonight,
I'd have to work out which ones actually have sound chips in. Sparky 107 has got to get you some American steam locomotives. Mind you, they might dwarf the British ones. Well, funnily enough,
you have a couple on, don't you?
There is a single American steam locomotive.
New York Central, just here.
Which is off the view. I don't know if you can
It's just by the garret, isn't it?
Why don't you move the camera around? So the cupboard monkey is moving it round. Right, so we can just see that is a New York Central Niagara 484. So there is a single US outline locomotive. And as you can see, it's bigger than the garret that is next to it. Yeah, so there we go. Right, you can.
They definitely dwarf the British stuff. They're huge.
Yeah. So there we go. You can just see it on the stream there now. So, right. Iron Horse Railways asks, I always wondered if a DCC loco is just sat there for hours and not moving or anything. Does that cause damage? No, it's just a draw on the. And basically, they're all on standby. And as John JMC says, they all sit there under power and are waiting for the command to go. Roof Railways asks, do you have a Big Bertha train, also known as Big Emma? Is that the howitzer? I do have the Octarail howitzer, but there are no ready-to-run models of Big Bertha, the 010 Licky Banker.
Oh my goodness, now I've got Bertha,
lovely Bertha
in my head.
Which for our global audience probably means absolutely nothing. This is 80s kids television in the UK.
Is it 80s? I thought it was late 70s and just repeated in the
Big
80s.
Bertha. No, it was 80s, I think.
Wow.
Wiven Model Railway, great to see you. Says, I have 2 big boys. Fell in love with the loco when I first saw one in a model shop at Liverpool Street Station when I was 16. Absolutely, they do look amazing. And I must admit, the 484 Niagara, which was very generously donated by one of the Monday Clubbers to the channel, is actually quite a favourite loco of mine. And I do have a review of some. They're actually Chinese wagons, but to the UK eye, they look a lot like US outline coal hoppers. And this is a new company that up until now I've not been quite so familiar with, but just as a sneak peek, Model Asia is the brand. So we've got 2 here.
And I do wish I could read what they say, but my my knowledge of Chinese characters is not good.
They do look lovely, but they've got the same couplings and they're to the same scale as the US outline HO. So I will actually be using one of my. I've got 2 US locomotives.
Can I open one and show it to the.
No, I'll leave them in the box.
Okay.
I'm going to leave them in the box.
We're going to leave them in.
Because they're for review.
HO scale as well.
Jack Hawkins says, why is Hornby so expensive? All model rail stuff is expensive.
These days it is.
It's because of the labour. The physical people having to assemble it all have to be paid. And also it's extortionate, the cost of shipping from China now.
Which I think is going to change things up. I honestly think either people are going to start moving into Eastern Europe for manufacturing or at least delivery.
They already are.
Yeah, or some other places that they can essentially exploit cheap work, and that's the issue.
They already are. And there's some stuff going to India, but it won't last because
it never lasts, and then you're going to move on. The biggest issue that we have is if you want low prices, it essentially means that the company is exploiting cheap labour.
I mean, do you remember when we were kids? It was like made in Taiwan.
Made in Taiwan, yes. Or made in Japan for electronics. But Japan was in a massive recession, so they weren't getting paid much either.
They had stagflation, which is actually very dangerous for an economy.
Yes, it is. They managed to get out of it, but that's the problem. It's all about underpaying people.
And Ian Parker says shipping costs doubled. I think actually in some instances they've more than quadrupled.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But Valley's 56XX does point out, makes a very valid point. Oxford Rail Wagons, 15 quid. Bachmann and Hornby, 35 quid.
That is a good point. Oxford Rail will not be charging that in the coming years, though. I can guarantee that.
Oxford Rail have put their prices up a little bit, but I hear what you're saying. It is a case that a lot of people are now asking how Oxford Rail as a brand are able to put out wagons at such a great price. And you just see going up the incline there, the Andrew Barclay shunter. In between that and the brake van is an Oxford Rail BR X Great Eastern Railway ventilated van. And yeah, it's £14.50. I think you can find them in the shops at.
That's not a bad price at all.
But
for something that detailed.
I believe Oxford Rail do have their own factory, which is something that Hornby don't. And Bachmann are in a different situation whereby the parent company owns the factory, but effectively Bachmann have to justify the production run because there's a lot of other more profitable things the factory could be making. So effectively the Bachmann prices are inflated because if they weren't, nothing would get made. Because essentially Sandra Khan, which is the parent company, or Kader in China, could make more money making things like injection molded plastic parts for cars, making model rail stuff for other markets, such as Lilliput for Europe or Bachmann USA. So effectively, Bachmann's prices are inflated to justify their production in that factory, and that's what Bachmann prices are largely driven by. But a lot of bits and pieces are starting to drift back to the UK. I believe that Humbrol paints production came back to the UK. Some of the Airfix kits are now made in the UK. And all of Pico's stuff is made in the UK.
You know what would be really nice?
What?
Now that Humbrol's coming back to the UK.
What?
If they could start making decent paints again for the metal style. I'm sorry, but when we joined in with the European ruling that you can't have certain metal extracts in paint, then the paints changed.
Yeah, they became inferior. But also, the biggie is Daypol. Now, Daypol are really investing in production in the UK, and I think it is paying off. And what's becoming apparent is certainly items that don't need a lot of labour input. So a good case in point is the Daypol conflat wagons in O gauge are entirely not the way the containers are entirely made in the UK. Can you smell burning?
No.
Like burnt toast?
No, but I could smell garlic earlier on. I think next door is cooking.
I can smell burning, like burning food.
No,
but Russell Benton, very good point. Second-hand prices are jumping up as well. Absolutely, and you know, we're talking about second-hand prices. I paid over £100 for the rebuilt Battle of Britain locomotive. That locomotive was never that price new. That locomotive, brand new, would probably only be in about £70, if that. And you know, it's what
I just heard a thought. Given that prices and costs and values of currency have changed, is the cost of a model of the Stephenson's rocket anywhere close to the cost of actually building Stephenson's rocket?
You got no, inflation adjusting is something you've got to do.
I know, just as a funny joke though.
Wardle Road, big hello to you. Great to see you in. Says, just a gentle reminder, I'm hosting an interactive railway quiz from 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Small cash prize for first place.
Oh my goodness, guys, get yourself in there.
So, absolutely brilliant. And don't forget to tickle that like button, share the stream, and also do consider subscribing if you've not already done so. We've got a really great turnout. Alfonso Lapulse, I think it's Lapulse. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of your name, but big hello to you. John Martin, good to see you in. Valleys 56XX says, a 9F got Big Bertha's lamp fitted to it after Bertha was scrapped. And absolutely, Big Bertha was another one of those locomotives. It's a shame that she wasn't preserved. She was, I believe, the first 010 locomotive ever built in the UK. And quite long lasting, built by the Midland Railway and lasted all the way into BR ownership, sadly scrapped. Michael Weil says, shows coming up equals deals and bargains. Absolutely, and one of the things we're doing a video next week, which is going to be model rail bargains, and we're going to be looking at some of the second-hand deals out there. And I think you're going to love that. I know you guys like the new old stock videos that I do. I search out the bargains and let you know about them. But definitely do check out the second-hand bargains. And there's one name I will say to you. We said about this last time. Anorax Anonymous. If you're at a show where they are, make a beeline for their stand, because they were amazing prices on as new stuff. Russell Benton reminds us, Accurascale apparently announcing something from Model Rail Scotland. I believe that KR models may well be as well, but don't quote me on that. Ian Parker says, got 800 wires to solder. You might be in luck, because I think next month's What's Neat This Week podcast, the What's Neat This Week Model Railroad Hobbyist magazine video will feature a soldering made easy guide that I've filmed for them, so do look out for that. Whamgock says, insurance, as the cost of my collection has risen, so has my renewal costs. Ouch.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember to insure, because we've talked about insurance and the pitfalls.
Is it worth taking the risk? And the answer is no.
Yeah, and I'm speaking from experience. We did get robbed, and they broke into the shed where I used to have my model railway, stole a load of stuff. Luckily, I did get almost all, probably 95% of the stuff back, but it does show you that you have to be careful. And we've talked about this before, about the risk of actually being what's known in the insurance world as underinsured.
Yeah.
And it might be that, say, well, just a brief recap. Imagine, for example, your contents insurance, you insure the contents of your house, including your model railway, for the sake of argument, £20,000. And then you get burgled, and they steal £5,000 worth of gear. You might think, perfect, my insurance will cover me. And then, unfortunately, the insurance assessor then goes, but you've got £40,000 worth of stuff, but you only insured for £20,000. Therefore, if you got £5,000 of stuff stolen, you're only insured for half of the amount of stuff you've got. Therefore, we're only going to pay you £2,500. And that's what you've got to look out for. It's known in the insurance business as being underinsured. And they will try and wheedle, I tell you now.
Absolutely.
So you've got to watch out for this. And I believe that this is the world over. This is a ruse of the insurance industry the world over. So anybody out in Australia, in Canada, in the US as well. Sorry, I've just seen Mark Wilson's going. Big hello to you, Mark Wilson. Says, please do not mention Hereford Model Centre next week if they sold out of all bargains. Absolutely.
You did empty their shelves once, didn't you?
I did actually have a look, and because I was tempted to say, let's see what Hereford Model Centre's got. And they've sold everything. All the new old stock from Hereford Model Centre is largely gone. And that is us. You know, guys, I hope you enjoyed your bargains, because there's no more from Hereford Model Centre. It's all sold out. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Wardle Road very, very generously has donated £4.49 on the Super Chat. It says, just wanted to say thank you to Jenny for all her help and support on my channel behind the scenes. A friend for life. Absolutely.
Oh,
and it's one of the
so
big
much.
things that we always try and do on this channel is help other people. And I always despise, despise is a strong word. I always hate when you get big name YouTubers who refuse to even name check other channels, let alone help them out. showcase videos and tell other people about the channels. And it's an easy thing to do, but everybody appreciates a leg up.
And that's not even that. It's like, this isn't a zero-sum game. Them being a success doesn't mean that you lose out.
No.
But we all can lift each other up.
And we get a great community feel. It's one of the reasons that we do the showcasing your videos,
which we'll be doing 8:10 today because we've got a few extra.
So we're going a little bit longer on that, simply because we've got so many, we want to get through them. But Wangok says it's what's known as the insurance companies being dishonest. I wouldn't say it's.
I don't think it's even that.
Mathematically, they have a point, but you've got to be aware of this because it's very easy to actually end up being what they call underinsured. You buy stuff, but you don't change what you insure for, or the value of your stuff goes up. Something that you bought for, say, £50 is suddenly worth £500. Now, you didn't pay £500 for it, but if you have to replace it, that's what you're going to have to pay. So unfortunately, it's one of the little quirks of how the insurance industry works. Ian Park says, Jenny, are you a trader? Nope, I never sell anything.
She doesn't. That's why she's got 200 locomotives.
I am a little bit of a hoarder, but one of the things that it's very, very difficult, I find, to get rid of anything, which is one of the reasons that I've done this, put all my steam locomotives out. Most of these are just being hoarded by me. Iron Horse Railway says, I do enjoy your videos section. Jolly good to see others' efforts. Absolutely. And
I love it as well. I love
there's a lot of good inspiration. Absolutely.
So, a lot of people saying they love the other people's video. It is a major part of what we do, because you could be a 50-year veteran of making models, but someone comes along with an interesting idea. It's like, oh, I could incorporate that into mine and bring a bit of new life to it and things like that.
Absolutely.
We can all benefit from it.
And I just want to say a massive thank you to Charles Walsh, who's very, very generously donated £7.03 on the paypal.me link. So I'd just like to say thank you ever so much for your generosity, and
thank you so much.
We have been trying to put out videos as well showing where the money goes. I know sometimes people question, and when we say it all goes to help produce the videos that you want to see, it honestly does. So we've recently done a Patreon explanation of where the Patreon money went, some of the super chat stuff as well. And it goes into being able to afford
actually
stuff
looking at some of it, because the cameras, we use a lot of that
equipment as well. It's the reason that we've got multi-cameras up here on Weir Yard, is because we're able to plough back the money from the channel.
I have to say one thing. I started giggling when I saw this. Flammer1 says, Jenny is not a trader. Would you like to buy Jenny Kirk Von Dick Club mugs and t-shirts? Go to...
A lot of YouTubers do merch. It's another way that rather than saying just give a donation, it's saying buy something, get something that you like, that you're happy with, and it helps the channel. Cameron Patterson says, good night to you from Glasgow. I hope to see you at Model Rail Scotland on Saturday and Sunday, Jennifer. And looking forward to see you too as well. And it's going to be great to see so many of you. It's the first time I've ever been to Model Rail Scotland. I've never been to an exhibition north of the border. So it's a really great chance to for anybody who's in the Scottish area who doesn't necessarily get down south of the border, to actually finally meet me in person. And one thing that everybody always says, so I'll put it up front, is I am taller in real life because I'm sat down. James Hardy,
you're on a TV screen. So how big are you? Well,
James Hardy says, do you think the interest in railways is growing? Absolutely. We're seeing a lot more interest and a lot more from younger people and families.
I really think the TV shows have helped with that.
Absolutely. And it's one of the reasons that I was invited to a Model Rail Scotland with the upside down layout, and will feature in a lot of the promotion. Jennifer Garrett asks, is that a Fairbairn 264 tank hiding behind the A4s? Yes, it is. There's 2 standard class 4s and a Fairburn tank. So, yeah, so you'll see that I think the Fairburn is the one in the middle, and then there's 2 standard class 4s that kind of just bookend the locomotive. So yes, the weathered one next to the tender of the second A4 is the Fairburn.
Water says, I actually started an Amazon wish list so people could choose something instead of just sending cash. The next day, Gorilla Glue turned up. Gorilla Glue is actually quite useful.
It is.
That's a nice one, yeah.
Can I just say, I used a lot of Gorilla Glue when I did all the insulation up here, because it's really good when you're insulating on a sloped surface. You put all the dabs and you just go, bloop, and it sticks and it stays there. It's great. But yeah, that is actually a really great idea. If you have an Amazon wish list, then I know a lot of people say, oh, you're really difficult to buy for. And all I can think is, no, I'm not. You know what my hobby is, but I think having...
Your hobby is butts. What?
No, but if you have some kind of a wish list, and it'd be nice, actually, if maybe this is something model rail shops perhaps should try, is a wish list function where people can send relatives a link, and it's like their wish list, and then people can buy stuff from that wish list, and it then, if they buy it as a present for them, it disappears from the wish list.
Yeah.
A bit like a wedding list, I think, works that way.
Yeah.
And I think that might actually go down quite well.
I used to have a wish list on Amazon, and then I forgot about it, so it's got all this stuff from about 10 years ago that isn't available anymore.
Alfonso Lapulsa says, for sure being into railways, model reel is no longer the kick me sign that it used to be in my school days.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's become a lot more cool. And I think as well,
David Scott has a good point. Don't forget your COVID passports for Glasgow.
What now?
Scotland decided to make it really difficult for English people to visit.
Oh, right.
We'll sort it out.
Malcolm Moore says, Google says Rocket was sold in 1836 for £300. So actually, on a pound-for-pound basis, completely and utterly disregarding and ignoring inflation, Rocket is approaching the price that it's probably going to get sold for in model form now.
Tim's model railway in different videos says, do you still want a big boy? That could be taken so many different ways.
In my mind's eye, I've currently got Kenneth Williams going, ooh, matron. But yes, I would still like a big boy. I'll have to look out for one. But
would it actually fit on this layout? Could it go around the corners?
Yes. Yes, it could.
Cool.
Russell Benton says, yeah, that's a good reminder. For Model Rail Scotland, you need a COVID passport or evidence of, what's LFT?
Lateral flow test.
To get in. Oh, right.
So drain your sinuses into a bucket and then hand them over.
Valleys 56XX says, I've just moved to Barry, about a mile from where the scrapyard used to be. I suspect it's a housing estate now. But I do actually, I've got my proof of booster and double jabs. I've got that.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Or do they make you apply for their special expensive online thing?
No, it'll be the NHS England passport thing. Don't worry about it.
But Michael Pollitt says, hi Jenny, yes, railway modelling is more than a hobby now. It's a way of life for me as an ex-railwayman. Right, so are we ready now to... oh, we're doing it at 10 past, so we've got another 10 minutes or so. Iron Horse Railway says, still a lot of folks who assume you're an anorak wearing weirdo, though. Yeah, but...
But Jed's used to that, so it doesn't matter.
It is being dispelled. And the TV programmes did go a long way to do that.
Yes.
And it's one of the reasons that what we've actually... what Ken Patterson over in the US would dearly love to try and get TV networks over there interested in is something similar to Great Model Railway Challenge. So we'll call it Great Model Railroad Challenge, simply because it would be such a great advert for the hobby in showing that we're not the weirdos that people who are ignorant of people in the hobby think we are.
I could just see it now, the Great American Model Railway.
I do know about the plastic kit for the big boy, but it's doesn't really go round on its own.
I am actually going to get one of those big boy
The Revel
kits.
ones, yeah, they're about £30.
Yes, I'll get one once I've got through the backlog for the monkey builds.
Melchester Model Rower says it will be a case of peppers, please, in Scotland. John JMC says Digitrains won't be going to Glasgow, staff illness. Oh, so does that mean, because you're down to have a stand, so I take it last minute you're not going, because you are on the plan, or Digitrains are on the plan. That's a shame, because I was going to bring the Hellion rail car to have you prod and poke at it, because it's got a prototype 10 auxiliary function, a train-o-matic decoder, which we can't quite get to work with the Hellion AEC railcar. That's a shame. Right. Nick Beard says, just take a crate of Iron Brew and you'll fly in the doors. And Values56XX says, I am in fact the weirdo people think I am. Oh, don't do yourself down. Right, Warbler Production says, Zoe, I've sent a link tonight, most recent steam loco through Atherstone Station.
Thank you.
Clive Cobold, hello to you. Logan Clary, great to see you in. Peter Jackson, just making sure I try and read out all those. Davil says, let's hear it for weirdos. I'm proud to be one. Most non-weirdos seem miserable to me. Yeah, and I think, maybe it's a case of reclaiming the word weirdo, and it's like, actually, it doesn't have to mean what the stereotype is. It's almost like it's not so much about being a weirdo, it's about being non-conformist. And actually, there's nothing bad about that. Actually, we haven't had that camera angle. Is there a reason? Oh, no, there we go.
There's a reason I haven't had that camera angle. There's no trains.
There's no chains! Ian Parker asks, can I have your pitch? Ooh, that might mean that there's extra hotel rooms going. John JMC says, we have sent an email this morning. We have to sort out with you to pop over or pop in. See if we can sort it. Absolutely brilliant. Although it's a little bit of a trek, but yeah, we'll have to do that. I know that we're going to be sorting out. We want to visit more retailers, do a lot of videos. We're currently in the process of trying to arrange with TMC about going over there. And one of the things we really want to do is actually film the full process for the graffiti, the custom graffiti on wagons. And I think it'd be really nice to actually show that in a full video, how they go from a bare wagon to some of that great graffiti. We shared some pictures online. There's some footage of that coming up as well. We've got a video next week. Is it next week or... No, Wednesday's video will be the Doncaster footage. And we're going to be showing off that graffiti. I think if there's one blow you away moment from the entire show, it was the graffiti on those wagons. Really, really amazing. Logan Clary asks, hey Gandalf, am I late?
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo.
Where did he come from?
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. Thanks, Gandalf.
Are you sure he's not just climbing through the letterbox?
He's a wizard, of course he doesn't need to.
Of course he's climbing through the letterbox. Warbler Production says, feels like waiting for Flying Scotsman back in 2019 when there was trespassing issues. Oh my word. Nick Girolamo says, Jen, ever popped down to Bristol Model Railway Show? Usually first bank holiday in May. 2 large halls, a good turnout normally. No, I haven't. But I believe that may have been where they filmed a few bits and pieces. When we did Biggest Little Railway, there was some scenes of Dick Strawbridge wandering around a model rail show, and I believe that may have been the show where they filmed it. Ian Parker says, 1 bedroom is full of spray foam for mountains. One thing I will warn you about the spray foam is you need really great ventilation, not just when you're spraying it, but also whilst it's curing, because the fumes it does give off are quite toxic. So do make sure if you are going to use spray foam for scenery that you have good ventilation, just to let you know. And if you do get lightheaded, you do feel a bit ill or off, whilst you're doing it, then do take a break, go outside, get some fresh air and ventilate the room where you've been working. Really, really important to stay safe. Gary Lewis says, I agree the Bristol exhibition is a good visit and is now held in 3 large halls at Thornbury Leisure Centre. Oh, right. Gosh, it's not far from where I've been today. I've been down to Avonmouth today. Ben Tullett says, it's the same with volunteering at a preserved railways. People assume it's full of train weirdos. Hate to tell them, there are a lot of people who do it for the enjoyment of restoring history. Absolutely. And generally speaking, anybody who thinks that we're like thermos flask waving, anorak wearing, dirty, unwashed people with no social skills are actually, it's almost offensive how out of touch they are. You know, it's like, making very sweeping comments about sectors of society or, people of certain races or of, it's that kind of thing. And actually, it just shows ignorance when people brand everybody by this outdated stereotype. And it's one of the things that with the TV work, we've been really working hard to dispel. Right, let's have another camera angle.
What? I've got a message here saying, being a teenager in the early 2010s means I now feel an emotional, nostalgic connection to some of the worst music ever created.
Paul Murphy asks, is that spray foam stuff flammable? Some of it is.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. But I don't think all of it is. You'll have to check the cans. And I don't know whether it remains flammable or whether it's only flammable whilst it's curing and therefore effervescing stuff. But excuse me. You do have to be careful with that stuff. 156 Andrew says, Billy's replacement Glasgow. Woohoo!
What on earth would a replacement Glasgow be like?
Edinburgh.
Oh, them's fighting words. Don't go to Glasgow and say it's like Edinburgh. Oh, they do not get on.
Yeah, it's like Edinburgh must be the most English part of Scotland, apart from Dumfries.
I did love that. For those of you who remember Second Life, back when it was the big thing, there was a group of Scottish people who had clubbed together to build a replica of a part of Scotland. And they built a replica of Princess Street in Edinburgh. And then a load of Scottish people came in and went, why did you do this? Why did you pick the most English part of Scotland and build that?
Ham Shackleton says spray cans, it's usually the propellant that's toxic. I believe that they normally use propane as the propellant, which is one of the reasons you can do that thing with a lighter and a can of something and go, like with a can of deodorant. Not recommending that.
No, but certainly not speaking from personal experience of setting your hand on fire.
No, I know. I never set my hand on fire. Did you? Well, you did it wrong. Warbler Production says the propellant in those cans will be flammable. Then if they use a hydrocarbon witching the foam, then they will certainly be flammable. I don't know. Does it remain flammable, or is it only flammable whilst it's effervescing the gas? Ben Tullett says, hit the like button. We have 323 people, but only 164 likes. So there's a Billy's replacement speakers moment coming up. Please, please, please click the like button. Don't forget to share the stream. And, sorry, just burped a bit. And also subscribe if you've not already done so. Oh. Thanks, Billy.
Are you finished?
No. So we're getting ready now to show some of your videos. We've got a bumper crop. J. Paul Anderson says, Jen, have you been watching some of Well Chuffed Railways YouTube videos on exhibitions? I haven't, no. But we did put out the one on the Bolton Model Rail Club. Unfortunately, there was a processing error on some of the microphone stuff, which is why it sounds like I was coming to you from a potato.
I did get quite annoyed with one of the comments, and you'll have to buy a new microphone. I was like, no, guys, sometimes things just can't be processed out.
So, John JMC, are you not able to get to Scotland to fly the flag? Because there'll be hotel rooms already booked, I'm guessing, for Digitrains. Can you not persuade them to let you go up there as a roving ambassador?
A roving moving up.
Yeah, just
Ambassador
say
at large.
you'll wear a Digitrains t-shirt and wander around and, just have a good time, that sort of thing. But if any of them ever ask, oh yes, it was stale bread and water, I was nose on the grindstone all the way through the shop.
For the sharp nose.
Yes. John JMC says, did Billy's speaker work with the drink in it? It did. Lots of people tickling the like button. It's always good to tickle the like button. And don't forget that we have merch down below. Beep, boop, boop. Actually, has the channel membership actually started
I
yet?
don't know.
Are we able to actually check on the phone?
I don't know. I am trying my best to load up the first of the Monday Club videos. So if anything seems to have slowed down, it's because I was just opening up this thing. So here we go. Right. While Jenny is looking, we have our first one coming up. So I'm going to take over for a bit now.
Yeah, you take over. I'm just let's have a look. Ooh.
So I am now bringing this up on the thing. I don't see a join button yet on the video, so it's still all to play for. So that's we've got a very interesting thing coming up here. Beep.
Whoa!
So,
Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, a
in
statue
Palm
of Marilyn
Springs.
Monroe. So that's interesting. And well, I suppose it could be inspirational for videos and model railways, wouldn't it? I don't know where the button's gone. Where am I looking? So what's up?
So right, so we're looking at the picture. Is it just the one picture?
Yes.
So it's an interesting thing. Statues are a really interesting way to add something a bit different to your model.
Yes.
I'm looking at that. That looks nice and warm, actually, with the weather we've been having.
And here's the other thing. You could make a statue. All you need is like a piece of card or something,
right.
A reasonably thick card, and then you put like a person on top. You can get people, and then there you are.
Just
They've
get a
got
person
statue.
in a different scale, like a G-scale figure or
Yeah.
something. Now, one of the things that I would like to suggest is that currently if you go into...
that was from Charlie, by the way. Thank you very much.
So that's from Charlie. Thank you so much for that. But also... you also need to consider, if you want a statue of Thor, then why not get a cheap Disney Infinity figure and spray it with something like Plasticoat, that sort of stone effect
That
paint.
would be a very large statue. You'd be looking at
like a Disney theme park type
Yeah,
thing.
the type of thing that would be on... You know the big statue of Jesus that's in Brazil?
Oh, yes.
That kind of size, or the Angel of the North.
Yeah. So there's
But
a
it
lot
could
of
be
things.
done,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of ideas you could do, but not just that. You could have a statue of anything you want, just by getting the actual, a larger scale figure. Now, interestingly enough, that you can also, I know that I think it's Noch or Preiser sells some actual historical figures, so you can actually have a statue. Say if you model Z gauge or N gauge, you could have a statue of, say, Helmut Kohl, because they do a figure of him. That kind of thing would be quite interesting. Tim's Model Railway in different videos says TARDIS in front of the yellow car.
Don't eat yellow snow.
Yeah, yellow snow is not very tasty. Southern Video Photographer says, people think rail enthusiasts are a bunch of weird people. Not the case. A lot of us are... oh, sorry, it's just disappeared. Oh, my word. Manthony 1956 says, have jacked up vehicles to find black widows hidden in places while working on them.
That's not
Ooh,
good.
no.
Yeah.
Paul Murphy, though, is absolutely right when he says, when people tickle the like button, Jenny gets tickled pink. Yes.
Okay, so we've got our next video coming up. This is from Mark.
So this is Hudson Junction
Mark
Model
Anthony.
Railway.
Yes.
So are we
The
ready?
slow train. Here we go. And Mark has a message with it. I shared my layout with you and Jenny in September 2021, but I've recently made a new layout called Hudson Junction. It's similar to the first one I made, only with more scenery and embankment easy track that I've weathered. The layout is still work in progress, but I've made a small video showing some of my 00 scale models running.
I like the scenery there. That little grassy knoll's come out nice, and the trees as well. Is that a K1 or a K3? Oh, I spotted the Monday Club wagon. I saw it. Did you see it? Everybody see it?
I'm sorry, I didn't. But this looks rather nice.
Stefan Svensson says, I have the Prizer and Angela Merkel.
Cool.
Yeah, so there's some really great stuff overseas. Prizer and Knock are really great.
They do a lot of cool stuff.
They put the range of figures that Pico make absolutely to shame.
Great I like
angle.
the texture on that wall.
I like the angle where you're seeing down between the buildings. It gives a sense of depth. Oh! Right, come on, hold on, copyright strike.
I like the way that he's using the, they'd be like little die-cast vehicles as well, as just stuff being carried.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you can make loads from some of the Oxford Rail vehicles as well. Really good use for the tracks. James Hardy says it's a K1. I can never tell the difference between a K1 and a K3 unless I look really, really hard. Now, Paul Murphy says, when Jenny says my name, it makes me happy. Does it really, Paul Murphy? Paul Murphy, are you happy, Paul Murphy?
I like these angles that he's going for. We used to do angles like this. When we
were out in the shed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It does remind me, actually, you remember the Thomas the Tank Engine, the opening bits where it would be the music and then you'd see the trains bustling around. It reminds me a lot of that.
Yeah,
so there's
nice.
Toby with the not Tickfield Thunderbolt train. There's some good angles here. Do you remember we used to do angles like this?
We did.
On Bolton Trinity Road.
We tend not to do it now because...
I keep expecting Ringo Starr to start narrating this.
Thomas was a very good engine. I can't do his
No,
voice.
you can't, so stop it.
I really can't.
So I'm really enjoying this. Jerry BVR says it was a subway train vent that blew up Marilyn Monroe's dress.
Wow.
Ian Parker says just bought 44 Pew coal wagons. That's pew, 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 and all the rest. And then Barney McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble, and Grub.
Beep.
So
that was
thank
really
you
nice.
so much.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed that. Alex Dent says Thomas himself and Howard Pomfret. Big hello to you. Great to have you in. Jennifer Garrett says Toby. Yay. Craig Douglas says, I've not had the Garden Railway running this year so far and we lost a few fence panels. Oh no, which need to be fixed first. Luckily, touch wood, we've done all right in the storms. We'll wait and see. I think there's another storm. Gladys will be coming next. Tilsley Nick says, hi all, great to join your channel, Jennifer. And it's great to have you in too. Really great to see all the regulars and the new people too. Charlie McGowan's Patrick Hill Station, great to see you as well. Andy Brooks says, I'm loving the Thomas the Tanks. Always very popular. Well, you're going to be
really happy.
Chuffed as well because...
Chuffed.
Actually, I did that. That was an accidental joke, but yeah. So this is
B2000.
B2000 Arrow Toys channel. And it was great to meet and chat with you at Doncaster as well. So thank you for sending in the video. And this is the large-scale Gordon finally finished.
Wow.
And the front buffer's definitely the right shape. We've got the lining on there, the number 4. I think this is G-scale. But certainly it's come together really, really nicely.
B2000 says, this is a video of my large-scale Gordon that I ran on the Garden Railway last year.
Apparently we lost a camera, so...
that does not surprise me, unfortunately.
So it's coming together really nicely, and Garden Railways really are great fun. So we've got the Gordon there. It's come out really, really well, it has to be said.
That is really well done.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember he was talking about building it.
Yeah, so it's sculpted the face, and we've got a really nice layout in the garden. And I can see Annie and Clarabelle, and also Emily's coaches as well, which are the 6-wheel ones. Oh, your track's a little bit...
Well, if he's just loaded to run Gordon around, then that'll happen.
A couple of... Whoa!
Oh, you can tell there's a bit of weight behind this loco.
Oh, yeah, I bet it's got some great pulling power. But garden lines always look good, and you've got the weather there, actually.
Absolutely. This is really nice.
Davil says, my pal's neighbour's fence blew down on Friday, was repaired on Saturday, and collapsed again on Sunday. Oh, dear. That's a lovely garden. You got a little water feature there as well. But you can see gardens do make really, really great backdrops to railways, because effectively your scenery is already done, and your scenery is dynamic. And certainly in the larger scales, it's really nice when you get like moss moss and lichen starting to appear.
Those
it really
buildings
beds
are
everything
great.
in. Yeah.
This is a lot of fun to see.
Yeah. The G scale stuff really is nice. And we've got a Thomas as well. I have got the music going round in my head, but for copyright reasons, we are not allowed to be inspired by. Double heading. Thomas
has decided he doesn't want to be a reading intervention today.
No. But this is good fun. Absolutely great fun. Choo choo!
The eyes moved!
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the Bachmann G scale ones.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah. Really, really nice. So
That was so
thank you
nice. Thank
so
you.
much for sharing that with us. Really great to see. It's nice to see how that has already come together. Ian Parker says Gordon was only $34.95.
Wow, you've done well then.
That's pretty good. Jacob Furness says, hi Jenny, I've just been trying to fix my Bachmann Tornado, and after taking the bottom screws out to clean the wheels, it's now running smoother on the straights, but it's still pretty noisy. I'd suggest that you might need a wee dab of oil in the gear chain. Also oil the side rods as well. Don't drown it in oil, but definitely if it's a little bit growly, then that could be what it needs. Posh Dan says, I work in a nursery and the children were very keen to help me repair the fence today. Jennifer Garrett says, I think the Thomas the Tank Engine early series were filmed in G scale too. I think it was gauge 1, but it's about the same. G scale's a weird one. I think G stands for garden scale, and it was an LGB thing. And it seems to have been a kind of largely taken over, but G scale, I think it's just a weird one. It's like narrow gauge in the garden. Now, I love this.
What we've got here is from Gone Loco. It says, it's a look at the branch line on my layout with a temporary section to make a loop.
That mountain, the grass and the terrain is really, really nice.
And he says, the only part that's operational at the moment due to waiting 18 months for Pico
Monday
Bullhead.
Club Wagon!
Oh, but waiting 18 months for Pico Bullhead LH points. Got an email on Friday saying my order is now in stock.
Yeah.
So, well done.
Oh, look! Found the car system!
Oh, I love it! I love it!
If I had this, and over a bridge as well. Hey, that does look good. I love the way you've got the trains and the roads like going round. Oh, I love it.
Oh,
I love it. That terrain really does work well.
that
Hey, look,
yes.
look, and it's got.
I love it.
Hey. Woo. I love it.
Oh, that is fantastic.
Oh, this is a great. Oh, the TARDIS in the Monday Club Wagon. Oh wow, you are a star.
This is so good.
Oh wow. Choo choo with J50. The War Flat and the Jenny Monday Club Wagon with the TARDIS.
That is so
I do love the scene. There's some really nice dramatic scenery.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. This is quite a complex setup.
Yeah.
Really good. Oh, right. So, I love it. I love it.
Oh, fantastic.
This looks great. I'm enjoying this.
Oh.
This is a really interesting railway. It's got a lot going on with it. This is going to look amazing when it's all
It
done.
really is.
This really is great. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because it's like going over and under. It's so interesting. Oh, I'm loving this. So Charlie McGowan's Patrick Hill Station says that's a great perspective.
It really is.
Jennifer Garrett says this is fun. Mel says I love your train layout, Gone Loco. Sue at Pudham Junction says excellent. Alfonso Lapulse says very meta. Flymo Chairman 1 says spot on. Ben Tullett, that was brilliant. Richard Swiderski's jumped in before Warbler and said TARDIS in a wagon. So really, really loving this.
I do have to admit, we haven't explored the Fowler motor system.
Well, there's
we?
no room for it in here.
But we really should look into doing something with something like that, because that would be so cool.
Oh,
now it's gone
Billy's
sideways.
replacement. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh,
this is really good.
Oh, the amount that it can travel.
They're really, really great. Oh, this is a lovely view of the station. That station's come together really nice. Oh, this is really... I love the creativity of the different camera angles of the Billy's replacement speaker van. I am impressed. Really oh, it's coming back.
Oh, because it goes around
yeah, like a return loop.
Oh, that is
vroom, vroom,
so
toot,
cool.
toot. I love the station, actually. This station's really nice. Ooh. I mean, I'm loving it. That mountain, when we saw at the top of it as well, really does look good. Oh, I like that.
There's the money shot, as you say.
That is really,
that was
really
so
nice.
Cool. Thank
you so much. I really do love that.
White woman van says Richard.
Yeah. Absolutely. That was really... I loved the creativity. Kudos to you.
That was so cool. Thank you so much.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was great. Yeah, and J94 says race between the van and the train. Einhorst Railway says this is brilliant. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
That was amazing.
Ian Parker says Billy's white van going to Glasgow exhibition. Yeah, and Johan Swanepoel says wow, legend.
Yeah,
legend.
That was so cool.
Smooth. And Flymo Chairman 1, absolutely hit that like button, subscribe and share, folks. Now we've got, this is from Henry Van Wyk. This is the Waterkloof backdrop installed on the Waterkloof HO scale model railway, South African Railways. So are we ready to rock and roll?
Yes, here we go. So Henry says, I installed the backdrop at my main station, Waterkloof. I'm very impressed with the difference it makes, so just have to share the short video. Here we go. Oh,
did you put the link to the Billy van video in?
Yeah, I did.
So the link's already gone in.
I will find it again.
We will repost that because that was great.
But
fun.
this is the link I've just
that
put in.
Backdrop. Look, see with the cityscape.
It just looks so good.
That is really good, and it just shows the backdrop can add so much to a model layout. Because even if you don't have a lot of space, the design and style of your backdrop can make a small, narrow layout seem huge.
Okay, the Gone Loco link is in now there.
So we just reposted that.
But that's the Henry Van Wyk. That backdrop really does make that scene.
Thank you so much.
So good. Thank you.
Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase has noticed Jenny said her inner Ken Patterson by saying, rock and roll, man.
This music sounds like rock and or roll.
Yeah, so that was brilliant. Thank you. Really enjoyed that.
That was so good.
Do we have plenty more?
Oh, we've got loads more, don't worry.
Groovy. Valleys 56XX says great atmosphere with that back scene. And Timothy Kynard says good job. Ben Tullett says it's the South African layout. I like this layout. Absolutely. There's some great layouts, and I'm actually really impressed with what we've seen so far. So we're going for the real railways now. Cue Zoe with her same usual rubbish joke. But so this is LMS Princess Coronation Class 6233 Duchess of Sutherland, passing through Tamworth High Level. So let's make that full screen. And
here we go.
Okay.
Beep, beep, beep. So what we've got here is Simon Paul says, good evening, Jenny and Zoe. I know you like models that look real, so here's a Hornby Railways LMS Duchess of Sutherland passing the model layout of Tamworth Station today. Cool. That, oh my goodness, that does look real.
I do love a princess coronation.
Oh, look at the animation on his guys. Everything looks so real.
The princess coronation class really is amazing. Mark Wilson asks, who is the hobby's main manufacturer of model South African railways? I'm not sure. I think Liam is certainly
that
used
was wonderful.
to.
Thank you.
But I don't know whether they still do. But thank you so much, actually. I really enjoy that. Princess coronations really do have amazing grace.
They've got a lot of character to them, haven't they?
Mixed Trains asks, how many 37s do you have? I have 3 Class 37s. So I've got 1 in regional railways as Eisteddfod Genedlaethol. I've got Bulladay in Intercity. And then I've got a plain blue one that's weathered that I've also got a sound decoder in, which is really, really nice. So just
cool.
The 3 37s.
So what we've got here is my model railway. PVA J. Clough Allen has sent over some pictures of Buckland Junction. He says, maybe too late, but here with a few pics of Buckland Junction. Ooh. Don't worry about it, we're still online.
It's coming together nice.
So that'll be fine.
This is, I like the. Is it a canal or a river? But it's, that's come out. Is that like are you using the casting resin? Because that's good. Come out really, really well, and I like the slight brown tinge as well. That gives a real sense of depth.
I also like the fact that there is a sense of depth. Look at that; it's going down.
Yeah, and it's like bridges levels. Over, bridges under. Really, really good.
And the way is that because it's not level. Everything's got. Ooh.
Jacob Furness asks, how many A4s do you have?
More than 4. I'm really liking this.
I don't know why, but I just noticed I've got 6, 7, 3. Maud is sat there chugging away. Select loco 6, 7,
Jenny,
3.
what's this? I recognise this loco. It looks like it's telescopic.
That is a Q1. Again, a really great.
Is it just me, or does it look like you can fold it out and fold it back in like a telescope? Yeah, it's like it can get bigger or smaller depending on the size of your railway.
And Mark Wilson, I do not have an Intercity 125 HST set. It is one of the gaps in my collection. I do love bridges. Bridges are my thing, but that water has come together
so good.
Really, really nice.
And it's not the same width all the way around.
Yeah.
That is so
and there's
cool.
like detritus and debris on the bottom by the look of it.
Yeah, that is so realistic. That looks like
that's coming together really, really nicely. And as Jennifer Garrett says, I like all the different levels here. Very easy on the eye. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, PVA J. Clough Allen, for sending that over. That is amazing.
So, thank you so much. I think we're starting to lose some of the cameras. So
these things happen.
So I'm just going to just make sure.
Okay, I think this is a new contributor to the show.
Ooh.
So
right, let's just. Yep, that camera has come up. So J94, my first rail tour was going to be behind 6233, but she wasn't ready at the time, and it ended up being behind LMS Jubilee 45596 Bahamas. And thank you so much. Tilsley Nick has very, very generously donated £5 on the super chat. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Okay, so who we've got next is Jennifer Garrett, who says, here is a YouTube link to a video of my Austrian model layout.
So this is the Tuxertal Bahn in Austria, or Österreich.
Yes.
So
this will be interesting. We don't normally see it. Oh, that looks wonderful.
I like the little tracks in the woodyard as well. They're like tiny little push around tracks. Oh, these are transporter wagons. So these allow standard gauge wagons to travel on the narrow gauge. Now I'm guessing that this is HOM, so that's the equivalent of meter gauge. Or in the UK, Isle of Wight, you'd use it to represent 3-foot gauge, like the not Isle of Wight, Isle of Man. Why is that locomotive keep chipping in?
There's so much going on here. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. There's so much going on. Oh my. I am loving this. Like I said, we don't often see Austrian, and this, oh my goodness, it looks so good.
It does actually. I love that woodyard with the little tracks going around in it as well. Really, really good.
I'm loving the buildings in the background. They've got style to them.
Really interesting, and it's just so vibrant colour as well.
Yeah.
And
look at the height on that back scene bit there with the rocks.
Actually, the back scene again. We talked about back scenes. This is another great back scene.
Yeah.
So we've got that suggestion of the Austrian Alps going on there. Really, really nice.
This is just wonderful.
Oh, look, a train ferry as well by the looks of that one on the right there. This is nice.
This is very cool.
Ooh. Like a water wheel and yeah, like a sawmill.
It's a sawmill, yeah.
So really, really loving this.
This is cool. There's so much going on.
I love that woodyard. Like you said, so much going on, and I love those little tracks. So there's the little locomotive in the woodyard.
Tiny.
But you can see it's like lightly laid track. So it differentiates it from the rest of the layout. But that really does work well.
Jennifer says the train in the woodyard is an Orhagen kit.
Oh.
So you can build it. That's cool.
And is it the same track gauge? Is it still HOM or is it HOE in the woodyard?
I like the little train. That was cool.
They are nice. The colourful carriages, really nice. Grass has turned out really well. Really, really nice grass. And the figures. So many people as well. It really does bring a layout to life. Ooh.
So Orhagen, they do quite a wide range of things. We'll have to have a look at them for some monkey builds.
No, I do love the woodyard. I'm really loving that.
Yes.
I'm thinking I need to add a woodyard.
I'm thinking we need to do another layout, basically, for dioramas and things. I am going to skip this on a little bit, though, because it's 9 minutes. Guys, I've put the link in for the whole thing. I just want to move it on a little bit so we can have a look at some other bits.
But this is a great video, just seeing...
Now we're in the
trains running on this layout. Really loving it.
Oh, this is so nice.
And the lighting as well. When you look at the lighting, it's nice and bright. It's like a nice sunny day. So Jennifer Garrett says,
what is that?
Jennifer Garrett says the main layout, it's actually HOE. So that's 9mm track, not the 12mm.
You've got some of the HOE up there.
Yeah, it's the same as the 009. But the non-working woodyard line is 6.5mm track. So I'm guessing you're using, is that Z gauge track for that? But it's really, really great. David Leister says mini trains literally put HOE on 9mm track, not HOM. Absolutely, yeah. It was the transporter wagons that threw me.
This is
really,
good.
really nice.
Oh wow! Oh, what is that building with that?
Well, it'd be some kind of industrial building. I love some of these steam trains.
Yeah, they've got some character to them.
That's absolutely. Nice. Really loving this.
That is so good. Like I say, guys, there's a link in the chat to see the full thing. That is amazing.
Oh, look, that's inside the workshop. So it's a workshop.
Oh.
Look at the detail in that. So we've got lifting jacks, but also lathes and all sorts. Wow. I like the flowers as well.
And the guy fishing.
Yeah.
Brilliantly done.
That is really... Oh, gosh. That is an interesting set of valve gear on that. That is... Wow.
That is quite interesting.
It's quite mesmerising watching that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sending this in.
We're
going to have to jump on. Like I say, the full thing is in the chat.
Yeah, and if the cupboard monkey hadn't dived in really, really quickly, I'd have given you a different angle from what we had before.
Sorry. I can't possibly be held responsible for what I pressed. That sounds wrong.
And Paul Murphy does say a woodyard would look good on Weiryard. Woodyard, Weiryard. And a big hello to Angus's Trains. It's great to have you in. And Ian Parker, thank you so much. Very generously donated £5 on the super chat and says, CambridgeMiniatureWunderland.com will be at Alexander Palace in March. And I too will be at Alexander Palace with Mineth Tatters, so do look out for me as well.
She'll be there whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I'll be peering at you through your letterbox going, hello. Andy Brooks says, love the workshop. Absolutely, that's
so
really, really nice. So don't forget to tickle the like button, share the stream as well, and also subscribe to the channel to be the first to know about new videos as and when they go up. Now, has the YouTube channel membership turned up
Jen,
yet?
why are you asking me? I'm in the middle of doing this.
So, just waiting for... This is Going to the Dogs, and this is the Hornby Class 370 APT running session, complete with hunt couplings. No, quite a few people have been changing the couplings on these, and hopefully it does give much more reliable running.
Everything's slowing down, Jen. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's playing videos and running the stream as well.
No, we don't normally have this kind of trouble. Here
Probably
we go.
Windows trying to update in the background.
That annoyed me so much last week. Guys, it was like, that's why we had the slowdown. I haven't brought the monitor up this time.
Ooh.
This looks rather
I like the bridge, and this is something as well that you can use the Pico bridge girders to give an idea that there's a big bridge going underneath your layout without actually having to model the underside.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the Budleia as well. You see there, just growing at the side.
That layout is just so good.
That is really nice.
It looks real.
I love your ballasting as well.
The different colours on the woods, it all looks real.
And look at the cable. You see how you got the cable and all the bits and pieces and the muck in the cess. It's the little details that really do bring a layout alive.
Yeah, this is so good.
It's actually a really nice model. It has to be. You've got a bit of a flickery light there on one of those.
That happens.
Yeah, I do
recognise this bit. Yes,
I did recognise it. Yeah, this is a firm favourite on this layout.
Yeah, the multi-level and it's all looking so cool.
Oh, that's interesting. The train's turning to the right, so that I presume there's a fiddle yard on the other side of your back seat. But this is there's so much little bits and detail in this. Really do. I do like that that crossing. That works really, really well. And look, you've got the flashing light on the end of the brake van.
This is so well done.
Absolutely. Richard Swiderski says, great video and layout. Jennifer Garrett says, the weathering on the cement wagons is fantastic.
It really
and
is.
the timber
It's
loads.
so well done.
Absolutely. Anfield Road layout in the loft says, nice layout. Mel says, wonderful train layout. So it really is great. I am liking this. So many details as well. And there's, I think it's one of the Daypole semaphore signals there on the platform.
I like the little rounded bit of like a rockery with the tree in it. It just adds character.
This is really nice. Really loving it.
So well done.
Ben Tullett says that new Windows update is annoying as they have changed the location of the shutdown button from the bottom left to the centre of the toolbar. Why?
Because they like to annoy you.
And what? And you can't force it to go back to where it was.
Who knows? That is it.
With Windows XP, you
turn
turned themes off, and it stopped it from doing that.
That is so nice.
Mm.
So this is one of those big packs, isn't it?
Yeah, it came in for a lot of criticism, but they actually do look quite nice.
They look lovely.
So
I really do like it.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Mark Wilson says, I was lucky enough to see the APTs in my local station in Nuneaton in the 80s.
Wow.
Right, FlyMyChem1, thank you very much for sharing the Monday Club Facebook page.
Okay, we've only got 3 left, and most of them are pictures, so this will be interesting. The next one, we've got one from Richard Swiderski.
Also, Manthony 1956 says, the Woodyard line reminds me of the railway used at the Salt Company near where I grew up. Tiny diesel trains on 18-inch gauge track travelling the dikes between the evaporator ponds. They rusted terribly, I bet they did. Iron Horse Railways, yeah, I think the PCAs are the Acura scale ones.
Everything is slowing down, it's very annoying. Here we go, right, here we are, right.
So, is this playing?
It will be in a second. Press play. Here we go.
So, Warbler Productions has asked whether their video has come through.
I'll find out in a second. So, 17th of February, so we're quite close. We're coming up to the end of the list. I'll have another look in a moment. My goodness, look at that. He's even managed to animate the water. We've lost it. Oh, there we are, we've come back up to high definition. Excellent.
So that's a class
That is
70.
cool.
That's 70.
Beep, beep.
Gordon Hanning says, I remember the original APT parked in sidings at Glasgow Central. Just, I found the hook for a coupling.
Oh, right, I wondered what you were looking at.
Which I remember losing off one of these, and now...
Oh, here we go.
Choo-choo, there it is.
That's steam. Wow.
So, it wasn't funny this
I didn't say that looked real, I said that's steam. Wow. I like the way it was moving differently because there was a different locomotive next to it.
So, choo-choo.
And it's got blinkers on so it doesn't get distracted.
They're smoke deflectors. German-style ones, I believe. Ruben Ashwell says, yep, that is a Class 70.
70 on blue boxes. That is very cool.
Ian Parker says 1,000 ready-made OO gauge model railway buildings at Ali Pali.
Wow.
And Russell Benton says, gotta go, have a great time at Glasgow.
Oh, look at that.
Absolutely, thank you for joining us. It's been great having you.
Look at this, the way the smoke's coming out like that. When it was going past, it looked quite bright, but actually it's quite dirty smoke. That is very cool. Thank you very much, Richard.
Some great angles as well. And of course, and then at the end of the train, intercity coaches and a Class 37.
Beep beep.
Yeah, in train load petroleum sector. And then, oh, right, here we are, yeah. Ooh.
That's very cool. Jamie Smith says, what's been the beverage of choice for this evening? Well, yeah, started with Coca-Cola.
Diet Coke, and also we have had hot chocolate.
Yes. So I'm going to switch back over to the thingamajig.
Take a
so
camera
much for sending that,
Richard. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was nice.
So, yeah, absolutely Iron Horse Railways. It is a great shot. So we've
who
got
are we looking for?
Warbler Productions.
Warbler Productions. I am not seeing Warbler Productions. I'll have a quick check in the spam folder. Jenny, can we keep going with the chat while I look for these? Found it, it's in the spam.
Dongit's Model Railway says, no, that's construction, not petroleum. I can never tell them apart, to be honest. Nigel Cole says, still don't like the elephant ears I am Flying Scotsman. Rule 1 Model Railways, only thing on with Tornado is that there are no rivets on the body. It's all welded construction. Flymo Chairman 1, absolutely. Send video links only, please. YouTube preferred as its URL. Subject title Monday Club to Zoe at zoerobinson.com. And also, don't forget, at the moment, we're still waiting for YouTube to approve it, but channel membership should be going live shortly.
So what we've got now is Tim's Model Railway in different videos, and we've got a selection of photographs of what looks to be
the turntable area,
the setting out of his roundhouse and things.
Yeah, it was a great kit, that roundhouse. I am liking this. You can imagine.
I still say, weather it up and that'll look amazing. Oh, so we get to see the development of it.
Yeah, it's a great kit actually. I look at that and I think that it really is a great kit.
Also, if we're looking here, see where it's got texturing?
Yeah.
You could really highlight all of that and it would look amazing.
Yeah, well, you paint it all stone colour and then highlight out the mortar course. And I would personally use watercolour pencils to then highlight and lowlight different bricks.
Yes.
Thank you ever so much. Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase incredibly generously donated £5 on the Super Chat. Thank you so much. Says, great stream. See you at Model Rail Scotland on Friday, Jenny. Absolutely, and it'll be really great to see people at Model Rail Scotland, and we're looking to have a little bit of a meet-up so that Monday Clubbers can meet other Monday Clubbers at 2 PM at the Upside Down layout is the plan. But this is a fun layout.
That is so cool. I love it.
Absolutely.
Got almost to the end of the show and then it fell apart.
Yeah. But no.
Thank you so much for that. That is brilliant.
Really enjoyed that. Absolutely. How is that?
Thank you, Tim.
Hey, how has it done that?
Because it waited for you to be distracted and then it jumped off.
Yeah.
Because that's how they all are. It's very naughty. Very, very naughty. So let's have a look now. Everything's slowing down, but we're trying to get in there. So now we've got one from Craig Thomas. Attached a few photos if you feel like sharing them on screen. Always do. Fueling area of my TMD, he says. So if you bring that up on full screen. Oh.
Okay. Oh, I like the detail.
Oh my goodness.
The detail on there with I'm presuming that screen wash would be in the Pelican, and then you've got the pump for the diesel, and it's all lovely weathered. Really nicely weathered.
It's so well done. And I love the way he's done the photograph. So it's slightly grainy.
Yeah,
looks a bit older.
Oh, there's the Clayton Class 17 that he did the weathering on. Really impressed to see that. Tim's Model Railway in different videos says TARDIS behind the signal box.
Yeah.
No getting past you guys.
That is so well done.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Belmont Junction says, Jenny, I have moored on my layout as well. Oh, that's actually very, very well spotted that I was tooting moored.
Look at the way he's got the roof going. That is so nicely done.
It does work out really well.
It's got character to it.
Yeah,
it looks
and the
used.
additional pipework on top of those ratio fuel tanks as well is a nice addition.
That
And
is
you've got a
very
snowplow
cool.
on the front of the Gronk.
A working Gronk.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you so much for sending that.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. Really enjoyed those. So have we got
We're
many
right
more?
at the end now, and we have one
Are
more.
we nearly up to date then?
Yes.
Was there any other in the spam folder?
Not that I looked, so I did check it before we came on air though. So we've got here from Warbler Production, short video just uploaded of the Flying Scotsman passing through Atherstone last Thursday on its way to Southall for the East Lancs Railway. Very cool. So here we go. Or at least it would be when it loads up.
Warbler Production says Maud was the first digital fitted loco I got nearly 2 years ago.
Wow.
Absolutely, it was an early one for me as well, it has to be said. I must check the rails, it's been sat spinning because it's in a long row of locos, and for some reason it decided it would just start running at the beginning of the stream, and it's run for over an hour with the wheels spinning.
Oh dear.
In one spot. So I will actually check and see whether it's put little dimples on the track. So right, so
here we go. This is the final one that we've got. So if you can bring it up on full screen, baby.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
And also Belmont Junction says my uncle rebuilt Maud at the Bowness and Kinneil Railway.
Excellent. Oh, here we go.
That's going quite fast, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice to see them like at full chat on the mainland because you don't see that on a preserved line.
Meow. Beep, beep.
Oh dear. So John Walters says,
cool.
I reckon Kraftwerk would love model railways.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the technology. Man, machine, layout.
Man-machine interface.
Yeah.
Well, that was wonderful. What a way to end the
Absolutely.
show there.
So are we now completely up to date?
We're up to date now.
We're up to date on videos, so look, it's great. Thank you everybody for sharing those. Some really, really good fun. Al Kaput says, can't find the link for the Austrian layout.
Oh?
Did you not post it up?
I did.
We should have posted that up.
I definitely did. I will find that and copy it over again.
Rightio. Lee D. Holden says, good evening everyone, sorry I am mega late tonight, what have I missed? Well, we've launched... Oh, bloody hell.
Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Ooh.
Thanks, Gandalf. Are you dropping your... Are you throwing your phone
I
at me?
caught the wire and it was like, it was
Why
not a
do you
happy
make-
chappy for that.
Okay, I'm going to...
Timber Surf says he wasn't late, just lurking.
A Monday programmer is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He lurks until he wishes to speak.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Anyway, look, it's been great having you guys company, and I will have to shoot off precisely at 9 o'clock because I have to get up early in the morning for work. But it's been really great fun having you guys in. We talked about Model Rail Scotland this coming weekend. Don't forget that I believe Accurascale and KR Models are making announcements of new models, so really looking forward to that. I don't know what either of them are. They have wisely kept them secret because, whilst oh my word, George Botterini very generously has donated $9.99, says better late than never. But thank you so much for your generosity on the super chat. But Accurascale and KR Models, are making announcements at Model Rail Scotland, I believe, on the Friday. So look out for those. And also, I will be there with the upside-down layout that you saw on Hornby and Model World. Fingers crossed it actually works, because it's a prop for a television series. It's not a proper layout. It was built for a purpose.
It didn't last very well, did it?
No, it did actually. It did last surprisingly well, but hopefully it's been fiddled a little bit, and hopefully it will work okay.
Have you got the hamsters in the wheels to make it turn now?
Absolutely. And also, don't forget that we're having that meet-up at 2 p.m. each of the days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And I'm told, actually, that they're wanting me to do some media stuff on the Thursday. So you may see me on local TV. I don't know where it's going out on. But
my goodness, they're putting you on Crime Watch.
Yep. Yeah.
Have you seen this woman? Do not approach.
Yeah.
She will talk to you about trains.
But look, anyway, you guys, it's been great having your company. Thank you all for coming and joining us. We've had a great time. It's always an honour to have you guys here on the Monday Club. Well, until next week, stay safe. See some of you at Glasgow Model Rail Scotland. But let's just let's see how many locos we can figure out have sound. Well, I know that one's got sound. So 3.
Don't get your head in the way of the camera.
Mm-hmm. So
that's 2 of them.
That's 2 running. 4, 6, 3, 2 is another one.
This is the bit where you just fiddle on now, is it?
There's your Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I do. It sounds like it's going to be a T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I don't know which ones have sound in them, so I'm just slowly working through. Where's Miles Beaver? Saving me the effort. Does anybody know what number Miles Beaver is?
6. 0. No, I'm looking at the wrong one.
Hold on.
Can't see Miles Beaver. Wow, that's an interesting.
Yeah, I'm just.
The ass cam is out.
Yep. Let's see what Miles Beaver. 60, 26.
Timber Surf says, "Here comes the 5-amp overload."
Yeah. Actually, we're only up to 2.5 amps. So, what other sound locos have I got here that are on the track? And
is the Garrett sound or the New York one?
They're not on tracks that are live, unfortunately.
Oh.
This is intriguing. What other? I know I've got a load of them. Oh, that's another one. 30, 50.
Yeah.
6146, I think that's got sound. So there we are. We're getting some of the sound locos up and running. It's not quite as an impressive cacophony of sound as I thought, to be honest.
I don't know, it's getting up there on the background noise meter.
I know I've got more, but I couldn't for the life of me tell you which one.
Oh my goodness, Belmont Junction, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's so generous of you. Thank you so much for donating £5 on the super chat. It says, keep up the good work, Jenny and Zoe. A wee deposit for a running session.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Jerry BVR says, oh, look at that realistic smoke coming from the power supply.
Hey, careful now. I'm trying to work out which other ones have sound that are actually sat on tracks that I can turn on.
We have had a few requests for a running session, so what if we just knock you off the picture and just do a bit of running to end the show?
Some of the cameras, mind, are...
Well, we'll see what we do. Okay, thanks so much for joining us tonight, guys. We're going to end with a... Well, we'll try and run a running session. We'll see what happens. Take care. Have a great week. Bye for now. The train now departing is the 2100 service to Lilith Tatus, stopping at Grove Street Yard, Bolton Trinity Road, Eindhoven, back to Weir Yard, and then on to Lilith Tatus. That's the 2100 service to Lilith Tatus. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night.
Gosh, it's noisy in here with all these locos. You gonna get that one?
Nope.
No.
A lot of them have gone dead.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, we can't do much of a running session. We'll have to do it next time. More of a running session.
Yeah.
What happens if I press these buttons here?
Not a lot. So leave them alone.
Can you not get the water tower to work?
No. Just like to give an absolutely huge thank you to Brian Bell, who's very, very generously donated on the paypal.me £20. So thank
Oh
you
my goodness.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's amazingly generous of you. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe and catch you all next week.